black like
like I work in finance. God bless, no, this not by chance. Don't dab me, you're not my man. Don't at me, you're not my man. Mama said don't buy it if you cannot buy it twice. I cop by the tools and I don't pump fake with the price. Always on the grind, I put in work with all my might. I know that he got me, not by sight. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like vanish, I slide out landish. V12 engine, all black like Batman. Sit 4 days, that's for sure though. Grinding from the grip, no shame, take a photo. Time to take a trip, we head north to the border. Say you feeling up, I'm my favorite type of hoarder. I got kids to feed, I got enemies, I got guys give, so they envy me. Got some friends out in Memphis like I'm Aubrey. Got some friends fought for orange like some autumn leaves. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like vanish, I slide out landish. V12 engine, all black like Batman. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like vanish, I slide out landish. V12 engine, all black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman.
all black like
like I work in finance. God bless, no, this not by chance. Don't dab me, you're not my man. Don't at me, you're not my man. Mama said don't buy it if you cannot buy it twice. I cop by the tools and I don't pump fake with the price. Always on the grind, I put in work with all my might. I know that he got me, not by sight. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like vanish, I slide out landish. V12 engine, all black like Batman. Sit 4 days, that's for sure though. Grinding from the grip, no shame, take a photo. Time to take a trip, we head north to the border. Say you feeling up, I'm my favorite type of hoarder. I got kids to feed, I got enemies, I got guys give, so they envy me. Got some friends out in Memphis like I'm Aubrey. Got some friends fought for orange like some autumn leaves. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like vanish, I slide out landish. V12 engine, all black like Batman. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like vanish, I slide out landish. V12 engine, all black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman.
all black like
like I work in finance. God bless, no, this not by chance. Don't dab me, you're not my man. Don't at me, you're not my man. Mama said don't buy it if you cannot buy it twice. I cop by the tools and I don't pump fake with the price. Always on the grind, I put in work with all my might. I know that he got me, not by sight. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like Brandish, I slide out Landish. V12 Benji, all black like Pansy. Fit 4 days, that's for sure though. Grinding from the grip, no shame, take a photo. Time to take a trip, we head north to the border. Say you feeling up, I'm my favorite type of hoarder. I got kids to feed, I got enemies, I got God's gift, so they envy me. Got some friends out Memphis like I'm Aubrey. Got some friends fought for orange like some autumn leaves. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like Brandish.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Paul Rodriguez Show begins now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I think we're going to be doing a show every Monday until May the 2nd. The boys are in the building. Producer James, West Washington, and the DF Dub fellas. I think we're back by popular demand, right? I think the people spoke and they wanted to see us at least once a week. How are we feeling? Tons to get into. Wes, how are you? James, how are you? Oh, all quiet now or what?
I'm doing great, bro. I'm hyped, man. It was a great weekend of sports. Even the NFL free agency was getting pretty hot.
Dude, it's hot. It's hot.
It's hot. It's hot. And just enjoyed the basketball. Enjoyed that March Madness, dude. It's just it's an incredible thing, dude. When you got the little guys have a chance to do something, man, and they get on that big stage, and some of them, man, they show up. They show out.
Man, we'll talk about that a little bit more, but St. Peter's, those dudes are dogs. Those dudes are like, they don't give a shit who you are. They're coming to play. But let's get into the hot topics. I want to hear from producer James. Everything copacetic on your end?
Yep.
All right, man. All right.
Yep.
I see you got the stars in the space and something about cold beer somewhere. Is that you know, what galaxy is that?
The Milky Way.
All right. I think someone's
this is actually where we're located in the Milky Way galaxy.
We studied a little bit in in astronomy or probably biology.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't be physical science. I think that's what the class it was. Do you take physical science, or did you go were you like a super brain and took like bio 2 or
Nah, dude, I was all basics. Anything I had to do to pass, that's where I was at.
All right.
Like passing's here, I'm like right here.
State level requirements. Wes, what about you? Were you a brain?
Hey, no, man. It was a struggle to get me to go to class, man.
Oh, you were an athlete. That's right. You were an athlete. I get it.
I was, exactly. So I was like, oh, man, I'm athlete. I need to pass me.
You better move me along.
Later found out, man. That's why I got kicked out of private school. I later found out they didn't like that. They rather lose basketball games, or they just find another brother that will go to class.
Got you.
I have been pretty fascinated with like space and like weather and stuff actually since I was little. So
really,
yeah. If I'm like scrolling through YouTube, like I watched Cosmos. I don't know if you've seen Cosmos with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Dr. Tyson.
Loved it, dude. The whole thing.
Dr. Tyson.
Okay. Me and him are on a first name basis.
You and Neil, huh?
Yeah, me and Neil.
You're not one of them crazy people chasing tornadoes so you can get your little.
Get a little thrill.
Yeah, he was doing it today.
They get like their little what is it, like devices, and they try to get them inside the tornado so they can learn more about the tornado.
Her name's Dorothy.
No, thank you.
That's from the movie.
Well, I was gonna say, I think Wes is referencing the movie Twister.
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, great role in that movie. R.I.P.
That's what they really do, though.
Yeah, and you notice, ain't none of them brown or black or Asian. I ain't seen them. Maybe there are some now, but I ain't seen them in the movie. Maybe that was just like Hollywood.
There was this dude that he's a storm chaser and he does like live and shit, and he has a Facebook and
he found it.
Huh?
Have you found it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because one of my friends had shared it, and I saw he was live and stuff. And there's actually a tornado like south of Lockhart earlier, well, like southeast of Lockhart earlier today.
Yeah,
And
tornado talk is pertinent right now because we just had a twister roll through North Austin and, I'd probably say southeastern central Texas. So pretty pertinent topics right now.
yeah, so these dudes are heading south into Lockhart from the toll road, and then they're like, we gotta put gas, and they stopped at the Valero that's like down the street from my house, and then they're like passed right by my house.
They had all these
On the
like
line.
gears and trucks and
I didn't see their vehicle, but I would imagine, yeah. Pretty cool. Yeah.
So there's your
Get to know the crew.
meteorology update for Central Texas. Did y'all get some weather up there in Dallas, Wes?
Oh yeah. No, it was throwing down today.
Throwing down.
Those tornadoes that I know of. I mean, I haven't heard anything said. The tornado sirens were going off when I was leaving the gym, but I had to go pick up the girls early from cheer because they were talking about it was coming. So
that's why you were
as we were
late.
driving, we saw the darkness. It was coming in, and then when I got to my apartment, all the electricity was out. So, but it's back on now.
You were macking on the cheer moms when the storm was rolling in. Is what you're telling me?
I was hoping we were gonna get stuck inside, and somebody was gonna need a warm body to warm up to, and keep it warm.
It's return of the Mac all over again. All right, I see you. I get it. Let's get into some NFL action. Biggest news, I think, as of Friday, I think two big topics we really want to get into. Deshaun Watson going over to the Cleveland Browns in an 11th hour deal being struck between Cleveland and the Houston Texans, as well as Davante Adams leaving Green Bay and heading to Las Vegas to join the Raiders and Derek Carr. Before we get into it, though, how surprising was it? I thought Deshaun was going to head to Atlanta, back home. Who would want to play in cold weather? He played in Clemson, which is in the Carolinas, for his collegiate career. Before that, in Georgia in high school. And then it would only make sense to go to a dome and play in a controlled environment at the Mercedes Stadium in Atlanta. Brand new facility, gorgeous stadium. But the money must have been too real in the compensation as far as trade capital for Cleveland to send over 3 ones, a couple other pieces in the deal for Deshaun Watson's services, then get a 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed contract, which is unheard of, making him the highest guaranteed NFL player in history, massively surpassing Aaron Rodgers, who the week before got a $150.7 million deal. Crazy numbers, 80 plus million over Aaron Rodgers, 2-time MVP, 4-time MVP, back-to-back. MVP at that. But you kind of ask yourself, Cleveland wants to win now. Now, we all know there's still civil litigation out there that needs to be processed. And, I think we need to respect the courts and their due process in that event. But nonetheless, I'm sure there's going to be some type of punishment that comes down for the stupidity that potentially or obviously, however you want to describe it, everybody's going to have their own opinion about the situation. But it is for Deshaun to put him in that situation. He's going to pay a price within the NFL. Suspension probably comes down. I'm going to prognosticate a 6-game suspension. Probably gets 8, serves 6 after an appeal. But in the meantime, Baker Mayfield will be dealt. Was it more shocking, Wes, for you? And we'll get into both. We'll get into the two topics for Davante and for Deshaun. What was bigger news? Deshaun foregoing Atlanta to go to Cleveland, or Davante going to Las Vegas? What was your thoughts on the big news of the weekend?
I mean, they were both so shocking because I guess for Deshaun, it is the money. He's probably like, well, I don't know if I'm going to get this chance again. People already done hated on me. I might as well take this money and run. But Davante I think it was more shocking to me, actually, just because I thought the whole reason that Mr. Rodgers was coming back was to be with Davante, but I guess that wasn't happening. And he said deuces, and he wanted to be with his boy Carr. We lived those old college days, which is good for him, man. I mean, Vegas should be excited about that. Hopefully they still got that chemistry. But man, I just don't understand why Deshaun Watson want to go to Cleveland.
Well, they're a Super Bowl win now team. You have to Cooper is there. You have probably one of the best backs in Nick Chubb. Don't forget about Kareem Hunt behind him. A strong offensive line. They were a quarterback away from winning that division. The emergence of Joe Burrow, I think, showed Cleveland, you're a quarterback away if you can win now. Look at what Cincinnati did without an offensive line. You had a quarterback, you had a receiver, no O-line. Well, Cleveland had everything. They have a D-line, a premier pass rusher, premier defense. Now the only missing was a quarterback. Now you get arguably the second best quarterback in the NFL. Wes, I don't need you face talking. You know these are the facts about it. Listen, that division is going to be sick. Joey Burrow. I don't know what the hell Mitch Trubisky was doing. I wanted Deshaun Watson to go to Pittsburgh. And at the same time, I just think that Deshaun Watson makes Cleveland an instant competitor. Although the AFC West is going to be a movie show, a cinema, a blockbuster of a division every time those teams have to play. And we'll probably get to see those matchups week in and week out since there's 4 teams playing each other twice a week during the regular NFL season. But the AFC North just got a whole lot more competitive outside the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they're nothing to sneeze at as well with the Defensive Player of the Year, TJ Watt returning, Minka Fitzpatrick, Najee Harris. I think Pittsburgh goes and stares down Malik Harris, the quarterback out of Liberty, formerly of Auburn. It is going to be a hell of a division.
Yeah, man, but it's Cleveland. It's the Cleveland Browns.
Right, and that's what everybody's saying. It's the Brownies of the Brownies.
I mean, they're almost worse than the Cowboys of getting your hopes up and just letting you down. So, I mean, good for them. I'm glad they got some excitement. Maybe that takes away from, people getting excited about the Cowboys because
that ain't gonna change.
I ain't gonna be excited about them. I just can't do it. But I mean, I wish the Browns luck, dude. I wish them luck. I hope they kind of do something just because. I mean, I've been going through it so long. Think about it. The Browns have been going through it longer than that. They've been going for it for a while.
They ain't won anything since the 60s.
Yeah, the last thing they won was what's it? It's not a Super Bowl. They're just a championship.
Yeah, it was a championship.
Yeah, that's their claim. Them in Detroit, man. That's their claim to fame. We got championships. We ain't got Super Bowls.
Yeah, sounds like another team I know who has a fan in this room. But more about it. I want to get the Green Bay Packers take on Davante Adams abandoning the Green Bay Packers and ridiculously, obviously, undeniably offending Aaron Rodgers by not mentioning him in his departure from Green Bay. What is with Davante Adams? He sends up the last dance photo last year with Aaron coming back. Aaron restructures his contract, makes himself the highest paid player at the time. There's enough money for a deal to get done with with Davante Adams. He rejects the offer from Green Bay that is being matched by the deal with the Raiders. Why so much disrespect from Davante Adams?
You think you disrespected him?
Flat out abandoning his team.
I don't know. You think you disrespected Aaron
Disrespected.
Rodgers?
Didn't even name his name in his departure. Thanked everybody in Green Bay except Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think he named anybody.
I think he named a lot of people.
Really? I have to pull that up here. But I don't know, man. I mean, who knows what goes on behind, these athletes. And I thought, like Wes was saying, the whole reason that Rodgers was coming back was because to be with Davante Adams. And I felt like it was mutual. Like, if Davante was going to be there, Rodgers would be back. If Rodgers was going to be there, Davante was going to come back. That's why I was so, blindsided. I was at work, and I got the notification, and I was like, what the fuck, dude? Because we were just talking about it at work, too, and we're like, what does he want? If he doesn't take that offer, he doesn't want to play under the franchise tag,
They never wanted that.
Yeah, so.
Was Aaron the catalyst to this then? Was Aaron the guy who said, yeah, if he wants to leave, let him leave?
I mean, he had to have, thumbs up it.
He had to have green-lighted it, right?
Yeah, for sure. You're not going to sign that massive contract without this, going by him, especially after the drama we had going on last season. So I don't know, man. I just
So therefore, it makes sense the reason why Devontae was so obviously disrespectful to Aaron Rodgers in his exit from
He
the
didn't name
Green Bay
nobody.
Packers. Yes, he did.
he named the Packers organization.
Yes, that's right.
My teammates.
That's right.
Which includes Aaron Rodgers.
Well,
which
he
is a
didn't name Aaron
teammate.
Rodgers.
He didn't name nobody.
Aaron Rodgers made Devontae who he is today.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm just saying that he didn't name nobody. He didn't name nobody. Like he named the fans, he named the city of Green Bay, he named his teammates, the organization.
Why so ambiguous?
I don't know. Let's get the guy on Zoom.
Let's get that contact in here so we could have that discussion.
Yeah.
Devontae chose Derek Carr over Aaron Rodgers.
You know, he wanted to go, it seems like he just wanted to go, reunite with his, good old college teammate.
Reunited and it feels so good.
Maybe something will come out, in the future, as to why, but
So
yeah,
is that what the special is going to be called in like 20 years? It's going to be
The Last Dance.
No, it's going to be The Last Love, because Aaron's all about love, all love. Maybe it's going to be something, or it could be the philosophy of Aaron Rodgers,
Yeah. We'll see.
something along those lines. Let's get into a quick break real quick. Give us about 4 minutes. When we come back, we'll get into some more trade information as we get into it. Lots going on. Bunch of trades today. I got a feeling Baker Mayfield's going to be left with that team. Like, he may be on the streets. More when we come back. Welcome back, everybody, to the Paul Rodriguez Show. Lots happening within the last 10 hours. Let's just go ahead and run through it real quick. Patrick Ricard of the Baltimore Ravens has been re-signed. He is now the highest paid fullback behind Kyle Juszczyk. Excuse me, he's the second highest paid fullback behind Kyle Juszczyk of the 49ers. Mitchell Trubisky going over to Pittsburgh to be QB1 left a big hole for the Buffalo Bills. They signed former USC standout quarterback Matt Barkley joining Bills Mafia. We're going to wait to the Cowboys to the end to kind of get our thoughts on it. I really don't know how this signing is going to help Dallas, but we'll talk about it. Matt Ryan traded to the Indianapolis Colts. Atlanta, $40.5 million cap hit. Ridiculous. Highest in NFL history. He got a $7.5 million bonus today paid out by the Indianapolis Colts. Other big signing today, Jameis Winston getting locked up by the New Orleans Saints. 2-year, $28 million deal. Looks like Jamison Crowder goes over to the Bills on a one-year deal, $4 million. And the Raiders signed linebacker Kyle Fackrell for a 1-year deal, adding depth on the defense. Dante Fowler signing a 1-year deal, pass rusher to the Dallas Cowboys, played for Dan Quinn in Atlanta. Wes, I don't like the signing. There's a lot better choices, I think, out there. Over the weekend, Tyrann Mathieu spent the majority of the weekend in Dallas at the facility for the Cowboys. Apparently had 2 hours worth of talking ball with Micah Parsons. Where do you see Dallas heading in free agency? Are they going to be locking up somebody on the defensive side, or do you think that they need to go into the draft and get that draft capital to rebuild not only their D-line but their offensive line simultaneously? What do you think the signing by Dante Fowler? Do you think that there's going to be – does he just add depth, or is he going to be a contributor? And as far as Tyrann Mathieu is concerned, can they land the big free agent safety to their ends to pair up with Keanu O'Neal, who will be transitioning back to strong safety? Can't understand what's going on. Maybe is your phone paired up with I wonder if his phone's paired up with the truck again. I don't know. Let's take a quick break. Let's see if we can troubleshoot that real quick. Hold on, and then we'll get him back on the line. I think we got them squared away. Wes, I think we have you back, sir. As he takes a big swing. You're back. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Recapping Dante Fowler signing by the Cowboys and Tyrann Mathieu spending time in Dallas. what do we look like here? Is Fowler just going to be a contributor? Can he be an impact player? And does Tyrann Mathieu sign with Dallas? What are your thoughts on it?
I mean, I think he can be an impact player. I mean, because basically what they want to do in that defense is get some people out there that can free it up, that, you got that you let your good guys run free, that you have Micah Parsons running free, and that, you want to have guys on the team so they can't double and triple team Parsons.
Right.
And that's why you got to replace some bodies when you lose Gregory. But I think it's all about, getting people in there. They don't have to be every down guys. They want guys that they can, plug in and plug out, and, keep that defensive line fresh, keep it going.
Yeah, 100%.
I think Tyrann Mathieu would be a great addition to it, just because he's a playmaker. And you got a playmaker with Diggs on the outside, and you have Matthews making plays all over the field. You have Parson making plays all over the field, and that's kind of what the defense is. They make turnovers and make plays, and so that's what they want. They're not going to have that type of defense where they're just going to sit there and shut you down, and you're not going to move the ball. You'll have a chance to move the ball against them. They'll give you shots to throw the ball down the field, but they want turnovers.
I think this is one thing we kind of identified last year with the Cowboys, where they just didn't have an alpha. They didn't have someone to hold everybody accountable on that side of the defense. Hell, even on the offense, they really had no leadership. There was no war daddy, as Jerry Jones liked to say it. And I think Tyrann Mathieu fits that build, although being 5'9", probably $180. At the same time, the dude comes from New Orleans. He comes from a hard neighborhood, and he had a tough upbringing. And I think when he had, Patrick Peterson in Arizona to kind of teach him how to become a professional, he was able to mold all of his strengths into being an elite DB at the same time. And I think with his ball knowledge and his just straight skill set, I think he'd be a huge contributor, a huge leader on that defensive side. And I think that's somebody that they're missing. They need some accountability, but it can't be Parsons. He's just too young right now. But I think if you have Parsons teamed up with Mathieu, who is a champion, I think that brings the greatest mix with a veteran and a young player who demand greatness, demand to win at all costs, no questions about it. And I think that would be, not only a good reflection on Jerry, but also Dan Quinn to pull that type of player into the fold. But at the same time, it's you have to believe Matthew's going to demand people to work. He's going to demand people to execute when it's time to play the game. Do you see that the same way?
I don't really agree with you about Parsons. I think the defense, the leaders have to be Parsons and Diggs after the seasons they had. They're obviously the top guys. Mm-hmm. So they have to lead by example. And I think Micah Parsons is probably one of those guys that he's in the gym, he's on the field, he's doing that type of stuff. He's just, I think he leads by example, but also I think he's going to be a vocal leader. And I think they got a good core of young guys that can lead. I think D. Law should be a guy, but I don't know if he can be with his background. But I think the guys that have been there, they got to be the leaders. They can have some people come in there and help with the locker room, like a Matthew. But I think the guys that Micah Parsons is Dallas Cowboy through and through. So I think that's the guy that's got to be the leader, because it's going to be his team. And I think he's going to be a guy that's going to want to sign and stay in Dallas. So I would like for him to be the leader on that defense. On the offense, man, it's got to be Dak.
Yeah,
it's Dak's team. He's got to be the leader. He's got to lead by example, and he's got to, he's got to be the guy to make the plays. He's got to step up and stop being, maybe then people won't call him the Black Kirk Cousins.
What does Dak need to do? Do we need to see Dak chew out a player on the sideline? Do we need to see Dak get in people's face to kind of not appear so cerebral? It kind of seems like at times he just lets the game go by. Like let the flows, the ebbs and the flows of the games come and go instead of, you know, we didn't really see it a lot when Troy Aikman was playing, I think, because we just didn't have the same type of exposure. But like we see Brady getting in people's faces. We see Peyton Manning getting in faces. You know, even now we see other quarterbacks who are clearly messing up. I'm sorry. We see players who are messing up and quarterbacks clearly getting in their face without question. If you're an elite quarterback, you gotta hold people accountable. And you don't need to be the nice guy. You got to be the leader. You're the field general. And I think that's what we're missing with Dak is like he's just, you know, he's too clean cut almost, right? And we need him to be a little bit of a monster. He needs to let that side of him out a little bit more so that we know there's some passion underneath and leadership. I just don't know if he's built for it. What do you think is going to take for that to come out of him? Is it a mentorship with another former Hall of Fame quarterback? Is it, you know, him just letting go? What do you think's holding him back?
I mean, I think it's actually got to be the right coordinator. I think it's got to be the right offensive coordinator to also. You talk about Dak, you know, getting on his teammates. I think you got to have the right offensive coordinator to get on Dak because I don't know if it's all on what's the little dude's name?
Yeah. Kellen Jones. Kellen Jones Moore.
Yeah, Kellen Moore. I don't know if it's all on the little dude, man. It might be some on Dak changing plays at the line. So I think you got to have an offensive coordinator if Dak is changing plays to say, hey, man, stop doing that, you know? So I don't think Kellen Moore's that dude. I don't think Dak respects Kellen Moore enough to do that. I mean, would you respect Kellen Moore? I don't know. I don't think he does.
Personally, no, I don't. But that's just me. But you know, again, I didn't play in the NFL. I didn't coach in the NFL. So what do I know? I don't know. I just got a small mic. That's all I'm saying. But what I do know is there's a certain coach, formerly of the New Orleans Saints, who's retired now, who may become available in the next year or two, that I think could learn a lot, or where Dak could learn a lot from, and that's Sean Payton. Is it wishful thinking? You're goddamn right. Is it something I'd love for it to happen? You bet your ass on that part of it. But let me tell you what I do know. What I do know is I can hope. And what I hope happens is we have another mediocre season in Dallas, and we sit here and we cry, complain, and talk shit because of so much talent on that team. And next year, we let Kellen Moore take a head coaching job somewhere in the NFL, and we fire Mike McCarthy, and we hold on to Dan Quinn, and we bring in Sean Payton, and we let the team get ready for a Super Bowl in the next 3 years after that, because that's the only way it's going to happen. Dallas isn't winning the Super Bowl with McCarthy as a head coach. They're soft, Wes, and we know it. They're soft.
They got that. What do you call it? He's talking about the monkey ass or whatever it is.
Monkey butt.
What was monkey butt?
Yeah, I didn't know that was real. That's a real thing.
Yeah. But I don't.
What's a real thing?
Monkey butt powder.
I don't know why anybody would want to come out of the booth and go to coaching.
It's the Dallas Cowboys.
Jacksonville learned his lesson.
It's the Dallas Cowboys.
John Gruden learned his lesson. John Gruden had a cush job. His life was good. And he messed up and he went to the Raiders. And now where's John Gruden? You can't find him. Why? Because the NFL burnt his ass.
Yeah.
Now you ain't gonna see old boy from Jacksonville. What's his name? Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer. It's just done. Why? Because he was, they're bringing out all types of stuff about how this guy was just a straight up asshole.
Yep.
Like just the way he talked to the players, the way he talked to the coaches. And it's just straight up like he's gonna have to go like to some high school in Alaska to coach football.
But Wes, as far as Urban's concerned, everybody knew that about Urban. Urban trashed every program he touched, from Utah to Florida to Ohio State and now Jacksonville. He was an ass at every single school he went to. Right. And what happened when he stopped winning? He got fired.
Yeah, it goes there. Exactly. You got to be winning. You got to be winning to be an asshole. Nick Saban's probably the biggest asshole, but he's winning.
You see, they said that he didn't even know who Aaron Donald was.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised by that.
I don't know if he's being sarcastic on that or not, though.
No. I'm not. Let me tell you why I'm not surprised. Urban Meyer's not going to worry about things or not be aware of things that he doesn't need to be aware of. And you got to think about when you're a coach in college, you don't watch pro ball. You're too busy game planning for the next week. You're too busy doing other things. I promise you, football coaches don't watch football. High school coaches don't watch football because they're worried about preparing for the next week. They may watch it like in the off season, but during the season, they're not watching football. They have no time. But getting back to Sean Payton, I mean, I think it's a foregone conclusion. I think it's happening, and I'm excited to see it. I just don't know if Dak will be around because I got a feeling if Sean Payton comes into town, Sean's going to tell Jerry, Dak's great and all, but I'm going to need a new quarterback. And we're going to need to go figure out who that's going to be. Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying. Aaron Rodgers comes down to Dallas after his 2-year deal, re-signs. He plays. Remember, he'll be 40 at the time. Comes down to Dallas, runs Sean Payton's offense, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Gallup, maybe another quarterback in the mix. New running back, maybe Tony Pollard. Just saying.
Is this our what if segment?
No, this is. There's no what ifs. I only speak forthcoming conclusions.
Call me now for your free reading.
Call me now. What was her name? Cleo?
Miss Cleo.
Yeah. No, I don't know about the Rodgers part, but I would sure like Sean Payton to come down to Dallas. I think that's going to happen. Just going to put it out there.
I don't see it happening. Why would you? I mean,
or what about this? What about this?
I'm hearing Stevens being just as big of a hole than Jared.
Who?
So I mean, Stephen Jones. So I mean,
Stephen Jones is a baby compared to his dad. He ain't got all Stephen Jones doing is negotiating contracts.
But I'm saying, if they say people, things will change once Jerry dies, and then who's taking over?
Well, I got to believe Stephen was the one who talked his father out of going and getting Zach Martin and not Johnny Football out of Texas A&M. Decided to go with a all-pro center out of Notre Dame. I mean, I'm just saying, those are the types of decisions where Jerry was making bad ones and Stephen's like, hey, Dad, let's do something different. I think Stephen's going to be a better GM whenever Jerry does move on to the he changes his address. I'm just saying. Anybody figure out if he has that daughter? Is that legit yet? Do we know? It's still like it's up in the air.
Come on.
It's like pending DNA approval. Is that what we're waiting for?
If you're asking my opinion, that's his daughter.
I think no, it's his daughter. There's no pending or anything like that. It's his daughter.
When you say that with such conviction, how do you know?
Because they've already shown the lady that it's his daughter, man. We know Jerry gets around. Come on, let's not be dumb.
Look, man,
it's his daughter. It's real. It's not about. He already knows it. There's already a test been had. There's a test on the book somewhere covered up that it's his daughter. So
yeah, I want to see that.
You don't need a test. It's really just about renegotiating the contract. That's what she's trying to do.
The what is it? The NDA, right?
NDA
that you can't talk or say.
Oh yeah.
So apparently, what it was that she signed the NDA with Jerry Jones.
I love how James has the cheese man. This is what's hilarious to me.
But this is all that I read last week when
we were
here.
Yeah, I know that.
So yeah, the NDA was part of the mom's agreement.
Yeah.
And so the daughter wants to come out and talk, but she's legally binded to the contract that she didn't sign, but that her mother signed. Oh,
so daughter's trying to do like a book deal to talk about her.
I don't know.
Illegitimate dad.
I guess she feels like she's not binded to the contract, which I mean, I feel like she shouldn't be.
Maybe she's just trying to go to Christmas dinner.
Maybe.
Maybe she just wants to hug her brother Steven. I mean, I don't know. Maybe she wants to be in the booth or in the suite for Cowboys games.
Yeah, for when they win a regular season game, spraying champagne on people. Maybe.
I don't know about all that.
Who knows?
She's like 40 something, right?
No, the daughter.
Yeah, how old is the daughter?
No, I think she's like in her 20s, right, Wes?
Yo, Jerry was getting down like that in '95.
The daughter is like 25.
She's like, I think she's like early 20s, I believe, early to mid.
Yeah.
Okay.
How long ago was our last Super Bowl win? Basically.
So she was the '95 Super Bowl baby. Is what you're telling me? Allegedly.
So she was made after the last Super
Allegedly.
Bowl. So what? So 9 months later from that.
Allegedly, yeah.
So.
All right.
Allegedly.
Hey man, allegedly, we ain't getting sued for shit. That's all I've got to say. Allegedly. So that was she's a Chan Gailey Super Bowl baby. Allegedly.
Come on, man. We know what went down.
It was Barry Switzer, right? Not Chan Gailey. It was Barry Switzer.
Allegedly.
Barry Switzer or Chan Gailey? Who was the coach? Oh, Barry.
It was probably Barry. Yeah, it was Barry.
Barry Switzer. This is so bad. We went from talking free agency to
He was scary. Barry was weird, man.
What do you do though? Like, what if remember when Arnold had his love affair with his
maid, right?
Somebody,
His
and
nanny.
then the illegitimate son, comes out, but just it's a brown version of Arnold, and his his kids with his wife, they look nothing like him. Isn't that weird?
Why was Arnold at that?
Fuck Arnold. That's all I gotta say. Fuck that dude.
Fuck you and your freedom.
Yeah, fuck Arnold. Yeah, fuck that asshole. Fuck my freedoms. No, fuck your Austrian freedom. How about that asshole?
What was he doing at that?
Said at the kindergarten cop, man.
Yeah, fuck kindergarten cop.
Bro, don't do that to Total Recall.
Total Recall. Go now.
What was he?
With that woman face all.
What was he
open
doing at that slap off thing that you sent me with Logan Paul?
He was there.
Yeah, he was like sitting there.
Yeah, he's probably trying to figure out how to get some testosterone with it all. Fucking never mind. I'm gonna go there.
You know.
Yeah, fuck Arnold.
Tell us how you really feel.
Oh, I did right there. Just said it 3-4 times. Fuck my freedoms. No. Why don't you go take care of your family? About that.
Bro, he took care of Predator.
That's fucking CGI. Predator.
How dare
He
you?
ran like a bitch.
How dare you?
He should have blew up in the blast.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
What would you have done against Predator?
Twins. How can you disrespect the man was in Twins?
Easily. Danny DeVito is a scholar and a gentleman. The other guy, not so much.
Bro, he was the governor.
Yeah.
The governor.
Yeah.
He was Mr. Olympia.
Yeah. Thank God he's not an American citizen because he would have been president. Screw that guy. That's what happened.
He would have been too, right?
That's why he'll never be American. That's why he'll never be a president. Because he won't be huge.
There you go. Been working on it.
Dude, your Trump is so good. Your Biden's getting there. That's what's funny. We talk about presidents. We don't care. I love all my presidents. Even the ones that were racist.
How's my Arnold? Fuck your freedoms.
Yeah. Why don't you go talk to the maid? How about that?
Nanny. What's the difference between a maid and a nanny?
I don't know. That's a good
Nanny
question.
just watches over your kids, right?
Yeah, they're like big caretakers, baby. But you often there's often, situations. Love is in the air. Where do we go? We went off the rails. Like Wes is just shook. What's wrong, Wes?
Wes is like, I need a nanny.
She's upstairs. What?
I don't even know how we got on the subject of Arnold Schwarzenegger. Like it just popped up. Next thing I looked up, y'all talking about Arnold.
I do have to say I have a newfound respect for Logan Paul. Not Jake Paul, but Logan Paul. I watched the show, Impulsive. He had Dana White on the show. Pretty cool. Pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. We need to start networking, Wes. We need to reach out to these people. We need to follow a model. Say it. See Evans. I'm gonna be suspended for 2 weeks.
You see, Jake Paul wants to do.
Yeah, Jake Paul's a crybaby.
He wants to do Kanye versus Pete Davidson boxing match.
Why would a billionaire? Why would a billionaire want to step in the ring with a comedian?
Because he wants to. Apparently, he wants to kill him right now.
Kanye's 45, 43 years old. He has no business in the ring with Pete Davidson.
It seems like he's off his rocker as of late.
Kanye's new girl is way more attractive than Kim Kardashian.
Look about the same.
No, they don't.
Really?
One does not have plastic surgery and one does. Just to put it like that.
I mean, I don't know why Kanye. I don't know why he's so butthurt about it, dude. Just move on, man.
Yeah, I know. It's like, dude, you're a billionaire. What are you worried about Pete Davidson for?
You already found a better replacement.
That's what I'm saying. Bro. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. Is Pete Davidson like running his mouth or something?
I think he finally did like open his mouth because for a while there he was just like posting about him on Instagram about Pete Davidson, like posting this and about their kids, and we need to come up with a special for you. It's going to be like the Pop Culture Minute with James Santa Cruz. I'll do that. I'll do that.
Pop Culture Minute.
We're actually thinking about doing that with this chick that's probably where I get all my information from. Yeah, it actually is from her, but she keeps up with all that stuff. But she wanted to do a segment on the dark side with this sort of information.
Here we go. But make it sports centric, and then we can do it here.
Look at Wes; he's sick to his damn stomach.
Don't worry, Wes. This isn't for you. You're an old fogey compared to what's going on in pop culture.
So he was like running his mouth, and he texted Pete Davidson, and then
for what though?
He was like, "Hey, he was like, come over here. I'm here right now. Let's talk." And then Kanye was like, "Where are you?" And then like he sent him a picture, and he was like, "I'm in bed with your wife." And then he was like,
"Oh, so Pete Davidson's fan of the Flames."
He just started to though. Like this has been going on for like months, but he I don't know. I guess he finally was like, okay, I guess I'll start saying stuff now. But then, of course, like he had to have known that like people were going to be watching or like looking at this kind of stuff on the internet and stuff. And so he kind of like spun it, like trying to be the good guy somehow still. And he's like, hey, man, like I hope you get the help you deserve, blah, 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 mental health, this and that, blah, blah, blah. I struggle with that, too, and this and that. So.
But don't you think this is all like building both their brands?
Oh, for sure.
That's what I see.
Yeah.
Like, what does beef do? Beef, like any PR is good PR.
Yeah, free publicity. Yeah. But Kanye got suspended from Instagram, so I don't know how.
Yeah, because him in 045, you know. I heard they were talking shit about West too. I don't know.
Yeah, I just kept scrolling.
See, now he wants to look up. Yep. Hey, Wes, why does Dallas suck? And I'm not talking about the Cowboys. I'm talking about the Mavs.
God damn.
The Mavs don't suck.
Yeah, they do.
How do they suck? They're sitting at the 5th seed, possibly.
Yeah, like they're probably gonna finish in 6th.
I mean, it depends. They're up and down. They actually been playing pretty good. I mean, they lost the last 2, but other than that, I mean,
they're not as bad as the Lakers, but you know who is?
Yeah, definitely not as bad as the Lakers.
Yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. All right, guys, let's take a break.
They're gonna be good.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about, I don't know, no more Pete Davidson because that dude's annoying. Ariana Grande's cool. Ain't nobody.
Basketball. They had this thing going on right now called March Madness. We talked about that.
I don't know about. Is Doja Cat? Is she performing at March Madness? Yeah, Doja Cat's cool.
Horny ass. Take a Cialis or what?
I'm not 50. We'll be back.
Work in finance, God bless, no, this not by chance. Don't dab me, you're not my man. Don't at me, you're not my man. Mama said don't buy it if you cannot buy it twice. I cop by the tools and I don't pump fake with the price. Always on the grind, I put in work with all my might. I know that he got me, not by sight. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt advantage, I slide out landish. V12 engine, all black like Batman. Sit 4 days, that's for sure though. Grinding from the grip, no shame, take a photo. Time to take a trip, we head north to the border. Say you feeling up, I'm my favorite type of hoarder. I got kids to feed, I got enemies, I got guys give, so they envy me. Got some friends out in Memphis like I'm Aubrey. Got some friends fall for orange like some autumn leaves. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt advantage, I slide out landish. V12 engine, all black like Batman. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt advantage, I slide out landish. V12 engine, all black like Batman. 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 Like I work in finance. God bless, no, this not by chance. Don't dab me, you're not my man. Don't at me, you're not my man. Mama said don't buy it if you cannot buy it twice. I cop by the tools and I don't pump fake with the price. Always on the grind, I put in work with all my might. I know that he got me, not by sight. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt advantage, I slide out landish. V12 engine, all black like Batman. Sit 4 days, that's for sure though. Grinding from the grip, no shame, take a photo. Time to take a trip, we head north to the border. Say you feeling up, I'm my favorite type of hoarder. I got kids to feed, I got enemies, I got guys give, so they envy me. Got some friends out in Memphis like I'm Aubrey. Got some friends fall for orange like some autumn leaves. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt advantage, I slide out landish. V12 engine, all black like Batman. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt advantage, I slide out landish. V12 engine, all black like Batman. 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 Like I work in finance. God bless, no, this not by chance. Don't dab me, you're not my man. Don't at me, you're not my man. Mama said don't buy it if you cannot buy it twice. I cop by the tools and I don't pump fake with the price. Always on the grind, I put in work with all my might. I know that he got me, not by sight. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the Paul Rodriguez Show. Let's get into it. It's the March Madness. Halfway through the tourney, the Sweet 16 has been set. We had some big upsets. We had some no-name teams get into the mix. Shout out to the men of New Jersey, a lot of them from New York. St. Peter's Peacocks in the Sweet 16. Auburn goes down. Tennessee goes down. Michigan surprises Tennessee.
Kentucky.
Kentucky goes out first round. Texas lost last night. Duke moves on past Michigan State. Dude, Arizona survives TCU in overtime last night. Lots of big games, you know. I thought Texas may be able to pull the upset over Purdue. Some 7'4" giant named Edey just comes out and dominates the middle of the floor. Dude named Travion Williams, the senior center for Purdue. Y'all see that dude's handles? That big man needs to go play defensive end in the NFL. That dude got sweet feet. He can move. Put that dude at left tackle, 6'10". That dude will make hundreds of millions of dollars. He ain't gonna play in the NBA, but he could play in the NFL. That's all I gotta say. Dallas.
How can you not play in the NBA?
What I'm saying is he's gonna make a lot of money, but dude, he would be a just phenom left tackle in the NFL. Be way more well known than he's gonna be in the NBA. But what does the NBA have that the NFL doesn't? Guaranteed contracts.
Money.
Guaranteed. I get it. I know the game. I understand it. But dude, that dude Travion Williams can ball. I saw him play. He could handle the rock and he could move his feet. And I'm like, dude, this dude is athletic. And they said he's like 6'10", 250. I'm sorry. He is not 250. That dude's a solid 270, 275 if you're looking at the waist and below. Thick lower body. Just going to leave it right there. Wes, what were your surprises of the tournament so far? And I had Iowa go into the Final Four. That got busted. Kansas, nah. My only hope left is Gonzaga and Arizona. And the way Gonzaga's playing, they look strong. Arizona's scary. I got Arizona winning it all. What are your thoughts taken away from that tournament so far, Wes?
First of all, man, it's been a great tournament, dude. It's such excitement, and the reason you love the tournament is because you got little guys like St. Peter's. Nobody's giving St. Peter's a chance in winning their first game.
Mm-hmm.
They go out and win 2 games, then they're in the Sweet 16.
Dude, them dudes are from New York, though, bro. Those dudes are New Yorkers. They don't give a shit who they're playing, what pedigree you're from.
I hear what you're saying, but man, you got some surprises with. I'm surprised about North Carolina beating Baylor. I had Baylor doing some damage. I'm not really surprised about Texas. Tell you the truth, I didn't think Texas was gonna get out of the first round. So kudos to them.
Hey, that's a big thing, right? That's a big win for the program, wouldn't you say? Like they're ahead of schedule with Beard and his crew.
Well, they haven't been out. I don't think they've been out of the first round since Rick Barnes, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think Shaka won anything. So for them to get out of the first round was a big deal. Maybe Chris Beard. Has got him going in a step in the right direction. I'm sure he's got a good recruiting class coming in. But I like to give it up to Michigan, man. Seeing Chris Webber and Ray Jackson on the sideline, supporting that boy after he had such a rough kind of finish of the season with the incident going between, I think it was Wisconsin and the coach. So kudos to them to getting it together at the right time and, making a little noise, man. Because I think Juwan Howard is a good guy. I think he's a good coach. So kudos to them. Just kind of really disappointed in Kentucky, man. I know I called it, but
yeah, you did.
You keep hearing how great Calipari is, how this and that, but I don't know. The dude is kind of he's almost like this big thing you hear about. You hear about all this kind of stuff, and it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. They show you something during the regular season, and then come tournament time, dude, same place. Auburn was a big letdown. I was hoping the SEC could do something, and they let us down. even Arkansas was a little bit of a letdown, but they powered it through and played some good defense. They definitely, when they have no shot against Gonzaga if they play like they did against New Mexico State.
But hold on,
There's no way you can shoot the ball that bad.
But hold on, if Arkansas is on point, can they beat the Zags?
Because defensively, yes, because they play good defense. If they're knocking down shots, they can beat Gonzaga. If they play, because they play good defense and they play defense like they normally do, but they got to knock down shots. They got to have a good game for Norte. If he's not bringing it, then they're going to be in trouble because that's the engine that gets them going. So they definitely need a good game from him because the Zags, they got a lot with Timmy, the white Kevin Durant wannabe, I forget his name.
Oh Lord,
they get pretty good guard play. So
talk to me, Wes. Talk to me about Houston, man. I didn't think Houston was going to do the damage that they did. Especially, I didn't think they were going to beat Illinois.
Well, I mean, I believe I told you to watch out for Houston.
Yeah, you did.
Houston's a good team. They're a good Sweet 16. If Arizona plays like they did against TCU, Houston will beat Arizona. I'll give you that right now. They're a tough, kind of a blue collar team, but they're good. And another team I like Villanova. I mean, they're a 2 seed or whatever, but I think they're just a good team, and they also, they play out there in that Big East, and I think that East Coast basketball, it's a little different. It's a little different, but I like Tech against Duke.
You like Tech against Duke?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tech had a pretty good year, man. They weren't expected to. I don't think do a lot because they lost their head coach, but they go and beat Texas twice. So who got the upgrade? Maybe it was Tech because the coach now at Tech was like, hey, I'm ready for this job. I've been ready. Like before this guy was leaving, I was ready. So you got to feel for him. So I mean, of course I'm rooting for Arkansas, but there's some teams that I'm still rooting for just because they're underdogs. Of course I'm rooting for St. Peter's. I mean, how do you not root for them?
Yeah, you got to kind of have to.
If you've seen them play,
yep,
you got to root for them. But yeah, so I'm rooting for Arkansas, and I'm going for the underdogs. So Arkansas obviously is the underdog.
So now that we know the field of 16, so now that we know the field of 16, what does your Final Four look like with the teams that are left?
With the teams that are left, man, I know I want to go with my heart and say Arkansas is there, but I can't do it. I'm definitely seeing Gonzaga being one, and then I see Villanova being another team, and I also like kind of a dark horse in the Midwest. I see Miami, the Hurricanes, maybe making their first Final Four, and then in the East, I like Purdue.
Really?
I like Purdue.
Yeah, they're a tough matchup. Athletic and big, and they can dominate the paint. That's another thing that Texas had a lot of trouble with. If you don't make your shots outside the perimeter, you're not going to beat them mid-range. That's one thing I noticed with the Purdue.
But nobody shoots a mid-range. People just throw up threes. It's the most annoying thing I've ever seen. That's the one thing my knock is on college ball is that they rely on the three too much. I mean, North Carolina shouldn't even have to go into overtime because they had 11 seconds left in the ball, and the dude just dribbles up top and then chunks up a three. Get to the rock. Get to the hole. Force some calls. It's a tie ball game.
But that's what
you need 1 point.
But that's what Purdue does. That's what I noticed Purdue did was they attacked the basket. They didn't give a shit who was there. And get with that game against Texas, they were just like, we're going to go get a layup. We're not going to go try to jack up a three. They were like, let's go attack the hole. And that's one thing I noticed that was the difference was that Purdue could do that against Texas, but Texas couldn't do it against Purdue.
Yeah, if you can get good penetration, get inside the lane, it changes the whole defense. They got to move differently. They got to rotate differently. And if you can get enough layups and you can get inside, you're gonna get a lot more easier looks at the three. You're gonna get wide open looks at the three. But you gotta have a guard that can get inside and get inside that paint, because the defense, it just has to react differently if you don't have a good post player. Now, if you got a good passing post player that can post up inside the lane, and you get those cutters going, then you don't really need the penetration as the good dribble penetration as much. But if you got a good post player, I think Arkansas does, but a lot of times the problem is he spends too much time on the outside, acting like he's Porzingis and chunking up threes. So he's got to get some easy buckets and work the inside. And that's what I don't understand. It seems like it's a lost art, but last time I checked, if you have good inside scoring and good inside post play, it makes the three so much easier. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think if you check, you talk to some people, I think I'm right.
Wes, we appreciate all that analysis. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up the show real quick. We got some things going on that we need to wrap up, but I appreciate everybody's time. Thank y'all for watching. Tune in next week. We'll be back on Monday. Until then, adios.
Adios. Oh, what happened? I talked too long.